Okay, so we're up to the over here. We have an army, which in the printed text is by the last line, Lameches, page Lameches. Vav army kamoy, the class eser anpen having bnei rabbanim b'masnisin vav Rabbi Gomer kulhon, and they said that the Rishonim said, translation actually on page Lametes, that 13 manners were Chachamim taught in the Mishnah, and Kamiyim ben Darim. He says here in the bottom in the notes, Rishonim Levin Bakdom Asol Mutes Toin Shekasher of Shrir Gon Omer Havu Armin Kamoy Kamnasu Tamid Lemedesh Agoda Hamofia Batalmud. Tzvartzichion Sheri Matina Loshen Zebe Iggeres Rak Kan. Okay, so I don't know why he would say so about the Medesh Agoda, because it seems that he's about to quote a halacha. He explains in a footnote on the screen. Shama Rabbi says Mishnah say that is a derech love rabbi. And you saw Mishnah v'arich. So I want to know which version to choose. Halachitza kol cham mishnah v'darv lam mikol echad mem mishnah. So I learned for each one's mishnah. V'ara ebi shezeh makdim halacha zu v'zeh ma'achra. One said this one first. The other said that one first. Zo amra. Der klav zomer der prat zomer der prat. One says a generality, one specification, one very much detailed. Those there are many differentiations. Seeking Rabbi's called Nuschos and Mishnah Matzah Slacha call him Shloja say Nuschos Chom Maseches and Maseches. 13 versions. Rabbi Mishnah Sam Shemios Chachamim Matzah She'elu Asar Chachamim Shanu Derech Achas. I guess I assume these numbers are
examples.
Examples, yeah. Okay, so the 13 versions altogether. Like learn Maseches Nedarim. Rabbi have a Gomer Tleisar Ape Hilchasa. They learn 13 verses of Halacha. Agmel Rabbi Chia Minayu. Shevim now. He taught Rabbi Chia 7 of them. Cholash Rabbi v'akru minei. Rabbi got weak. He got sick. I don't remember this, but he got so sick, and he forgot 6 of them. I forgot all 13. I had Rabbi Chia Sheva Kamei. So Rabbi Chia reminded him of 7 drachim in the Mishnayos. And they lost 6 of the other 6 versions. There was a certain launderer. Launderers are big deals back then. To have a Shama Rebbe, heard Rebbe, kind of a Garisu when he was learning them. When he learned them originally, I guess, all those 13. Also, Rabbi Chia Gamrino Kame Katra. So Rabbi Chia went and learned the additional 6 from the launderer. Rabbi Chia Bajrino Kame Rebbe. And Rabbi Chia went and restored them to Rebbe. Could have a Rebbe, could have a Chazi Rebbe Lukatz, and Rebbe would see that launderer. Amalei said, you made me and you made Chia. Because some say, you made Chia, Chia made me. Now, this is very, very strange. Again, that the launderers remember all these things and not Rabbi Chia and not Rebbe, but okay, well, whatever it means, I imagine some form of exaggeration. He says here, drasha. I'm not putting stock in the drasha, he says on the screen, but he does say drasha. Kinsar koves, minashran zinu dafka koves, she's course on classes are ampek de lamdenu musar. They specifically brought this launderer, he should remember these 13 ways, teaches Muslim, Ashashicha Bamina Klipos Vaveros. That forgiveness comes from the mystical husks and sins. Some forgets his learning Asa Tshuva, Vichabis Asum Avonos, and warned himself from sins. V'yachsa lo tamudo. V'ainu Kovesha said Tshuva b'choles. What does it mean? He was a launderer. He was constantly doing Tshuva. Vichabis Asum Avonos, constantly learning from his sins. Tshuva nikra kibus. Kind Rabseini, but Neser, but Tarbilach Boris Nichtamba Menech Levanai Begomer. It's the Torah about bears which are such a sin, so grave that there'll always be a stain, as much laundry as you do. Vayday shows the Tshuva Choles Nasa Zachron. In Tshuva time, he became a person with him had a memory. Bein Tamush Taker Menafilas Manroch, and he did not forget things even after a long time. Okay, memories and he called Katzra. It's called in Aramaic Katzra. Because even after a long time, it's learning what you remember is learning as if it was a short time. Okay, all that is sheer drush. None of that has any basis in reality. This guy made it up. It's a cute drasha. Of course, it also serves the purpose of detracting from the idea that a launderer who actually worked for a living could remember Torah, which is an important value for us to impart. So the 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 idea of uh, uh, is interesting idea. Okay, so Dalit, the came of the Chazal Rebbe. Dika Shinuya Kule Hai between Rabbanzi. So major differences by in the rabbinic ways of learning things. Uh, even though with all their bases, they all go to the same place. He was afraid that maybe the loss will emerge from all this. But since he saw the hearts were getting smaller, he says here in the note in the text, the hearts getting smaller, with mental capacity to understand and to remember, which of course is true. People continue to become more moronic as time goes by. Um, so uh, uh, okay, it says similar thing here on the screen. Uh, 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 and the well springs of wisdom were being stopped up. It says here. Next, never mind. Next line. Uh, Vistalik Sar Torah, and the Sar Torah is being removed. So in the text, he says in the printed text, Torah is in Himsakar Masas Kala Perisayim Bechos Rabasi Perichotes Reish Periklam Lai Sar Torah Hu Maryam Malach. He was a malach Shemorid Es Koach Zikaron Torah Olam, who brought down the power to remember Torah to the world, and now he is going bye bye. When we see that Torah Sar Mokamalach Maseches Chulin Shmos Rabbah Sar HaOlam. So the this is evidently this Sar HaTorah is Kadasam Koach, which imparts spiritually to the world, and this is going away. And he brings down here from Kabbalah and the tech screen. Sites are who are P. Brisa the Seder Ol Machar by Sheni Shlomo the Talmud Shalom in Torah. The Chazal saying that the world is 2,000 Tohu, 2,000 Torah, and 2,000 Mashiach. 2,000 years of Torah culminated shortly after Churban by Sheni, and not shortly, sometime by Sheni, and then the Stalik Sarah Torah. So the Sarah Torah, who was active for those 2,000 years, is being removed. Nismatu Levavos and the Nistat Mumai and Chochma. The Sarah Torah, we usually don't pronounce names of malachim which are not used to as common names. So I'm going to just avoid it. But it sounds reminiscent of zigzag.
Mm.
Shmo Kid Isa Bamedrish Kitapor Batseyar Dir Masla Moshe Dina Yosef. The judge is sitting Sam B'Sichin Ve'ein Dayon Ela this Malach Shu Sar Shator Chachma. It's the Karnei Akavod. He has the horns of honor, which Vayashem Moshe Vanav Moshe stood in front of the Lama Kol Eser Sodos, and evidently that's why Moshe got the Karnei Kavod as well. Okay, so since the star is going away, it's like they say if the ancient ones were malachim, Anak Bnei Enosh were like human beings. B'kamay b'nei anash, if the ancient ones were people. On a chamorai, we are donkeys. Okay, the Rabbi Yechon, like Rabbi Yechon said, the bunch of Rishonim, Kepiskos Ulam, the heart of the Rishonim, the ancient generations was broad like a the Ulam, which was 40 by 20. Shachroin, Echon was like the Hechel, which is 20 by 10. When Vermina, they say Man Rishonim, Rabbi Akiva, Achroin is Elazar ben Shamua. Tova Tzipornim Shal Rishonim, the fingernail of the earlier ones is greater than the Kreson Shal Achronim, than the stomach of the later ones. So in the printed text on Mem Aleph, he says that Rabbi Elazar ben Shamua was the next generation, was generation before Rebbe. So he told Dor Echa is my Leva Chachamim b'chetzi. So one generation, the heart of Chachamim went down by 50. It's more than 50% actually, because 40 by 20 is 4 times as much as 20 by 10, if I'm not mistaken, right? Um, so, but the thing is that yeah, because it says here it has to be, because he brings down here that the Rishonim was Rabbi Akiva and Nachon as well as Ben Shemua. That he brings down in footnote Lamed. And also, it's on the screen over here. So, oh no, is it? Yeah, he doesn't bring down the Targum. He does. Yeah, he brings down the Targum. He does. No, he does. It is in text. Sorry. Achronim Kabisa V'Amir and Rishonim Rabbi Akiva Achronim Rabbi Elazar ben Shemua. So that was one generation. Yes. So then so one generation went down. It was Akiva, Elazar ben Shemua, and then Rabbi went down in one generation even by 75%. And then this other statement he says here in the note on page Mem Aleph, Tovat Tzipon Shishon V'Chesh Shachronim Mamar Zamar B'Yochim B'Yachas L'Avdel B'Bnei Dor Achron Shabayis Rishon Dor Achron Shabayis Sheni, which is a very big gap, right? Hundreds of years. Come Rishur Shiragon Mishtam Mishol Gam B'Yachas L'Avdel Ben Dor Shavikiva Dor Shabilazar Ben Shambua. So the Bavos Ma'amori Chazal Eila bring this Ma'amori Chazal Miskavin Shiragon LaRosh Chashoshos Lav Shal Rebbe. It was legit. This actually was a dramatic deterioration. Shachronim did not get to the level of their Rishonim.
Okay.
Okay, so then in Hay here it says, Rebbe, they fortified Rebbe, or they bestowed upon him, Bari Taraso Min Shmaya Gedula. Yeah, I should read from the text on screen. They gave bestowed him a gift to Havali Torah Gedulia, Torah and greatness, meaning he has great wealth. And they would everywhere they were subjugated, submissive to him all his years. Most Moshe about Rebbe from the days of Moshe to the days of Rebbe. Lo Matzinu Torah Gdula Makam Echad. We didn't find Torah and riches. Here it sounds like it's not riches so much as governance, because they were all kafuf to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeshua have a Lazar. B'kulish might say there was no one leader at the time. Yeshua, there was always a Lazar. So it seems that the leadership, Torah and leadership, the scholarship and leadership were focused in one person. And besides that, there's advantage involved. Shamda. They were at peace from any persecution. Bishum Rachmusa Dika ben Antoninus Rebbe, because of the love between Antoninus and Rebbe. So he elaborates here in the printed text in the Kidover Godos, because there's such a great thing. Bira Sof Lashon the Mishnah, clarification of the final language of the Mishnah, Vachlot and Komas Rabos, Stamios Hamachlokas, and determining which, in many places, how to make the stam of the Machlokas. Couldn't be done by one person. Afkima Isha Haya Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi Rabbeinu Kadosh. Even as Yehuda HaNasi himself, during only Bachros Shel Torah Yisrael, a great matters in determining Torah. So lawyer Efshakim Askamas Kol Gdolei Chacham Yisrael Yachad It's only possible with all the Chachmei so together. Kibbutz Gadol. We call Rashi Chachmei Ador Yachad. Don't be together. Kol echad hevi imo kabuloso. Each one brought his Masorah, Bisot Shitas Kabuloso, and the basis of his Masorah. Kol hevi imo rochav daito. Each brought his expansive understanding. Latziv ne'avad kulo to propose in front of the entire assembly. Antoninus, that's from Doros Yishonim. He says Antoninus Pius, Haya Caesar Shlomi Achad Adrianus Caesar. He was the Roman emperor after Hadrian. Time is Rashi, Yeshem Sipur Rabim Matarim Asoki Dich Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi. I mean, it's mentioned many times as a friend of Rabbi Nasi. Midrash Maskir Yosem Caesar Echad. Midrash mentions more than one emperor. Mavdil ben Antinus Hazak and Antinus Hatzoyer. There are two Antinuses. Mechar Bedeni Mitzkashet Ein Dvarim Elu Imitzis Historis Tkufa Antoninus. Antoninus. Chayim came to Rabbi Chaim Ikar B'Sofa Meir Shnia. It's very difficult to reconcile history with all those great stories about Antoninus. So I think that many people understand this that this Antoninus was actually a local governor in Tiberia, not actually the Roman Empire, because it makes much more sense with all the things which went on. But anyway, it's like all history in the Gemara. It's cryptic and doesn't necessarily jibe with our secular versions of history. It doesn't mean it's less correct in secular versions of history. It could be it's more correct, but it's hard to reconcile. Visvirus and also Svirus was a friend of his, and he says here in the footnote, the son of Antinus, and Antinus wanted to make him king instead of him, and that he says here. What else should be inside? Since Benosh Antinus Aviv Ratza Amlichas Mel Tachtav, he said to Kachim Rebbe Ketzalifo. He took a counsel how to make sure his son was to take over as king. Vor Gemara Barazara. Mila Zu, this word Asviros Nimsa Rakli Kisyad Berlin Shalonu. Kamashma So Shagam Asviros Nosha Antino Shamach Achra Ve'olivas Rebbe. It sounds like Asviros. So also offended Rebbe. Ulam Zeo maybe still Mashin Emar Ba Medrash. Shrebbe Antinus Mesa Bosa Chodesh. It's the same month. Chen Shesh Chen Shiva. So going to Antoninus ben Asvirus. Antoninus himself was the son of Asvirus. Shem Mechun Antoninus Ovosh Rebbe Komos Rebbe, because that's the name given to many places. Okay, so it would be then Antoninus not Lidilei Ve'asvirus, but Antoninus ben Asvirus. So therefore, Rebbe decided to resolve the halachas, to put them in order. To Gasinlu Rabbanon Kulum Pel Echad. Everybody should have the same version. The logo is Kol Chad Chad Lishla Nafshay, and not that each one should have their own version. Shahanach Rishonim L'Kam B'Churban Bayit. So it's Kulu Hachi. So the Rishonim before Churban Bayit not require this. Lo Oyev HaTorah Sh'Ba'Pehu. Since the Torah Sh'Ba'Pehu, Lo Yisrael Tamayit Dvarim Yeduim. They didn't say their matters in Dvarim Yeduim. It's an interesting language. Since it was meant to be about past, so you didn't have to. I guess it means Yeduim means um, a known form. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in the brackets,
Respectful.
paragraph in the brackets says Kvuim. So they didn't have to eat like Torah B'Ksav, right? It wasn't. Let's move the time of Yeduim in a specific format going toward the Ichtave, like Torah B'Ksav. The Siva. They knew and understood the reasons in their hearts. Like a person tells his friends, teach them whatever language he so desires. Came the conflict, but in midrashos, and since they were gathered from time to time in the Sanhedrin and in Bati Medrash, they were arranged. In other words, they were prepared to say them immediately, and not only that, Mimshalta Islu Blo Akto Blo Pachto. They were able to say them strenuously, without fear, in previous generations. Um, so it says here in the footnote text that because they were able to say them fearlessly there and resolve the issues. So therefore, there was not a problem. The fact that they all had different versions, because eventually they would come to conclave and make decisions. I mean, Shmaya, I was silent, and they had said Shmaya, Vabrilun Tami Torah. They're able to clarify that them they're clear to the reason of the Torah. And they had no switching and no argument. I guess once they got together in Lishka Sagazis, they had no switching and no argument. Shtei Batidim shall kick Kov Gimel, and they had.
Rereading.
Sorry, I'm going back. I went back to. Sorry, let me go back here. Last line on the page. I mean, I'm right. Basically, loya machlekes. We saw there was no machlekes. Basically, shim echos yoshim lishkas agazis. Basically, the third setting one is in the main chamber. Shnei batinim asim shlosha echad yoshim pesach harbais. Yoshim pesach azara. One was the opening harbais. One was the opening azara. Shabbatim shasim shlosh yoshim race. On the other day was 323. Throughout the community of Israel. So the Beverly Shov, they had a question. Show about the they asked for local based in. If they heard, they would say to them, Im Lab, and if not, Boim Lazesh Sam Clearon, they'll come to one which is adjacent to the city. Yisham Alem, they heard it, they would say it, Im Lab, not Boim Lazesh Shal Pesach Bais. Come to one opening our Bais. Yisham Alem, they heard, they would say it, Im Lab, not Boim Lazesh Shal Pesach Azor. They'll come to one opening the Zora. Vomer there, each chacham would say, Kach the Rashi, Kach the Shul Chavirai. This I expounded, this my friends expounded. Kachli Madi, this I taught. Kachli Chavirai, this how my friends taught. Im Shamar Amlam Lan, if they knew it, they would say, Milav, Elu Bela Bon Lishkas Rajish, Sham Yashim, Tamish Shachar, Tamish Be'abayim. They'll come to Lishkas Rajish, where they said every day from the morning time to afternoon time, Shabbos Yom Tov, until Yoshim Chel, Shabbos Yom Tov, but they didn't have to actually mete out any punishment. They sat in the Chel, which is outside the Azar. Nishla Shela Bifneim, and they asked the question, was asked in front of them. Im Shomer Lehem, they heard, they would say, in Lav, if not Oimdim, Leminion, they would take a vote, Rab Matam Timu, Rab Matar Toru. Shabbat Tamid Basham Vihil Shloshim Shukot Sarkon, Rav Samachlekisov and Nasis Torah Kishtei Torahs. So until then, everything was fine and dandy. Okay, so and now he's going to go into what happened afterwards. But we'll stop here for today. I think we did a lot. Okay.
Ugh.
Okay. Yeah, and there's a long note here on page Mem Hey, which Mr. Shem will see next time. Next year, probably going to be in Detroit. We'll see. Maybe we can learn anyway. We'll play it by ear.
Okay.
Okay.
A couple of weeks I'm going to Atlanta, so but
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Okay. Take care.
Okay. Shkach.